in the times that we're in right now, there's constant change every day. Like things change all the time. So the mindset of things, if it's not broken, you don't need to fix it. It's annoying because
or change for the sake of change is asinine. That's my phrase that I tell every manager. Because I'm slightly ashamed of this project.
Vibe presents A Friend with Issues.
And we're back to another episode of A Friend with Issues, where I bring up a different friend every week to discuss what bugs them up the ass, what makes them angry, what grinds their gears, what makes them grind their teeth.
Really grinds my gears.
Today with me is Manny. Before we get into today's talk, Manny, tell the fine folks, how do we know each other?
There was this one time at band camp and we fell asleep and we woke up next to each other and
soft skin.
Yeah, super soft hands. I liked it. I was very encouraged to try this one more time.
That was a peyote. So how did we actually meet?
I am a super fan from two podcasts, turned host. Apparently you and I vibed very well because your name is Vibe, and and here we are. We've just kind of been inseparable. Life happens at times, which is currently what we're dealing with.
Yeah, we were inseparable until a couple of months ago when he ghosted me several times.
I didn't ghost you,
but yes, we have a mutual friend that put us into connection. Man was probably the most vocal fan of any of my productions in a very, very long time. And he was going through something personal that actually was applicable to one of my podcasts. And he came on and he did really, really well. And the same episode he came on, I invited him to be a co-host of that podcast. And then I invited him to the 100th episode.
Yeah.
Oh, another podcast. And after that podcast, I told the group up, he's going to be in that one too. So you can't look a gift horse in the mouth. When the universe is saying this man belongs with your studio, you go for it. Besides that, we've hung out a couple of times socially. Each time has been a blast. It's been a story, whether it's hot tubbing with randos or or staying up talking crap until 3 a.m. at my house. Get out of my house, Manny.
I like it there.
It's always been a great time. So this is like a really, really good friend of mine. Really, really good friend of mine. So,
and mind you, it's only been it's been about a year.
Has it been about a year already?
Yeah, it's been a little over a year.
That's the quickest year of my life. See, time flies when you're having fun. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes, like I do for all the other guests. I'm going to throw you under the bus. This is a re-record, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So this is going to be more recent than the other episodes. The other episodes were recorded in March. We are in August. For reasons that this punk, will keep to his chest. He decided to re-record this episode. So we're going to get into it. So this one is going to be a little different-ish than the others because it's out of order in a way. Yeah. It's more recent though. Well,
it's just a recent take.
It's more modern. So this is like this is being recorded. This is the same week it's coming out. So Manny, what grinds your gears? What are we here for?
What really grinds my gears?
Is,
when you're in the workplace or you're dealing with special people in your life, and they use ageism and micromanagement as a way to get under your skin.
All right,
and they do it on purpose. And everybody deals with this. I know you do because you do it. I did it. Everybody else deals with it. It's annoying as hell.
I absolutely dealt with it in the past.
Yeah, in the past. Now you're a brand new man.
Now I'm a brand new man. My work ethic is skyrocketed. I'm happy. That's why I'm telling you guys, this episode is going to be a different vibe than the other ones. I'm in a better place now than I was.
Vibe's a lot happier around. When we first recorded this, he was down in the dumps.
Down in the dumps. I mean, I probably commiserate with this man. Now I can commiserate, but it's like it's only been about 2 months. Oh no, 6 weeks, but the difference between these 6 weeks, you'd be surprised what encouragement, understanding, respect, and affirmation, and especially what's the word? Appreciation. How that can change your soul. So that's why it's gonna be a little different. But no, we're talking about you. So get a little deeper.
I feel it too. Things have definitely changed since the original recording. Which
and,
is
and,
what
and I want
prompted.
I want you guys at F Issues, I want you guys tweeting at me, hashtag release the miserable cut. Okay. I want you guys. I'm doing Twitter. I'm telling you right now, if I get enough hits and enough comments, I'm going to force this man to let me release it. I don't know how I'll release it, but I will release it in some kind of like simple way where I can give you guys the links, because that's a totally different episode. Hashtag release the miserable cut at F Issues. I want this. If you want to hear this, because I want to release this. It's a good episode.
Yeah, it was.
Let me know.
It was.
So
but I'm gonna tweak it to be a little bit more positive and more general this time around. So
yes, you punk bitch.
So yeah, back to me. Okay, back to me. Okay.
Release the miserable cut.
.com. So we're really guys and girls, like I said, it's ageism and micromanaging. Ageism in the sense that individuals above you or people that train you or work with you use time spent working into place or time spent working somewhere or doing the same thing,
right?
Or their actual age as a means to degrade your intelligence and your sense of judgment,
right?
Which is annoying. It should not even be in management whatsoever, or training, or whatever. It's annoying as hell. It shouldn't be that way, and it pretty much insinuates that they know better than you, or they know how things work better than you. And in the times that we're in right now, there's a constant change every day. Like things change all the time. So the mindset of things, if it's not broken, you don't need to fix it. It's annoying because
change for the sake of change is asinine. That's my phrase that I tell every manager that I've ever dealt with. Change for the sake of change is asinine.
And it's annoying because things it stops innovativeness. It stops people from being who they are, from attempting to do something more efficiently. And without that, you're in that same cognizant clock with the cogs, and they're just going in the same manner and just keep going, when something can be more proficient, something can be added to the situation to make it a lot easier, a lot faster, or what have you. But a lot of these individuals are just stuck in that same mindset where, again, if it's not broken, we don't need to work on this. Let's just keep it going this way because it's worked 15, 20 years, which doesn't make sense, because in 15, 20 years, things get outdated, things change, things get updated, and you just have to keep it moving forward. So, that's one of the issues that I have. I've dealt with it at several of my workplaces. I'm sure people deal with it on a day-to-day basis, not even just with work. All right, not even just with work, I'm sure
only with work.
Only with work.
Only with work.
Well, I'm sure you've been out in public and people are like,
"Hey, Sonny, if you do it this way, buddy, it'll help you out."
Like old people are always giving out like little side notes, like, "Hey, like if
I can't tell you the last time an old person gave me any kind of anything." So,
well, I've been told one time, like when you go grocery shopping and then you do that whole one trip, you load everything on your arms, and you try to get it all done in one and done, and then people are like, "Yeah, I forget what the saying is, but it's something like, the fool learns how to take more than one chance or take more than one trip, and it's not smart to do it all one." Whatever. I don't remember what the exact phrase is, and I'm sure I'm way off.
I have never heard that phrase before. I mean, never.
I'm gonna look it up.
No, you're not Googling it now. You're not Googling it now.
No, not right now. Not right now. I'm just saying. I'm gonna look it up, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, remember what I was talking about?
We'll add that to hashtag release the miserable cut. We'll give you the actual phrase. Sweeten the deal now at F Issues on Twitter.
Oh God, here he goes. He's all about sharing these cuts.
Hell yeah, good cut. I listened to it just the other day. I'm like, what is wrong with this cut? I'm just like,
I was listening to it before we got here.
I thought he was respectful, but yes, if you knew personally what was going on, you probably would know. But he didn't call anybody out. He had plausible deniability. You go, "I didn't call your name out. How do you know it was you?" That's a guilty conscience. That's what you would have said.
Yeah, but still,
I'm not. Are you lucky I respect my talent because Director would have been like, too late.
Nah,
Because
fool.
that's the rule. You represent yourself the way you want to represent yourself. That's it. I own this
That's what
footage now.
That's what you get for being an idiot. I mean, jackass. I mean, I love you.
Oh, it's so
But
funny.
my thought on that is just, as somebody who's been in management,
Of course,
and who's always worked with people younger and older than me, it's always been brought up. You got to keep an open mind, because sometimes these old farts, sorry, old people, I love you, grandma, sometimes they come up with the good ideas. They have good ideas. They mean well. They do well. Sometimes it works out, to have an open door, an open box, and just have other people, voice their opinions and their methods. Because if you're able to corroborate and collaborate together, old and new, that's what makes businesses thrive. That's what makes businesses successful. That's what makes work so much better and easier.
Are you talking about collaboration?
Yes, hand in hand, bro. Otherwise, if not, it gets to the point where the art of hearing somebody's voice is so excruciating, and it just makes or breaks your day, and it's just horrible.
Oh my God, please. I just that's actually how I feel right now. When my old manager happens to contact my new location, because we're still kind of in tandem, so we're going to be in communication. And I don't mean for it to come out like this, but she'll get on the phone. Hi, Jason, this is blank. And I'll say, first I'll greet, like, I'll be good morning. And then I'll hear her voice and I'll be like, hi. But here's the thing though, I honestly don't mean it like that, like on purpose, it just
don't lie.
No, because that's being petty, and unprofessional. But that's a natural, my cadence, the tone of my voice drops immediately. And I hate that, that's just how I feel. Like at this point, I don't want to hear your voice. I don't want to do any of that. I'm happy. It's like it's like an ex calling you every once in a while. Hey, so like that dog that we had is throwing, something small that still connects you.
Sparky.
Maybe even like a little baby mama to kid and stuff. But but you know what I mean though,
Yeah.
It's like I left that for a reason. I just, I don't want to have to hear your voice anymore,
At least the next time when you call here, disguise your voice, bitch.
Something like that,
See, and I have a similar story, like I work for an undisclosed porno studio. We're very professional. Yes, I'm telling
paperclickmedia.com. Please subscribe.
And I have a coworker. Yes, this is the same joke. I have a coworker named Kenny, that son of a bitch, who's an elderly guy. Okay, and he's just so stuck in his archaic ways where he doesn't understand lighting. So he uses his cell phone. But we learn to understand how much of a perv Kenny is because he flashes the light a lot, and we know what you're doing, Kenny. We already know. I try to be professional.
Right.
This guy is just a damn pervert, and I'm not about that life, man.
That's how I'm about that life.
Here's an additive to the joke. Thank God for OnlyFans going through what they're going through right now, because now I'm going to get more business.
That's too soon. That's too soon. That's too soon.
Listen,
I
all of the females out there.
Oh shit!
If you need a job, I got you. Yes, that's an insight.
That is a super inside joke. It's so inside. It's almost a deep cut. Okay. So
see. So if you release the original one, you're gonna have to throw this one in there because damn, there's some new stuff in here. And just keep it flowing, bro.
Keep it fresh. Keeping it fresh. Too bad he's not even gonna listen to this shit, so it doesn't even matter. You got a bunch of old grumpy guys complaining about shit.
Yeah, aren't we? Oh man. So the second part that I want to discuss, because ageism is annoying, and people need to understand that young people are very smart too, sometimes smarter than you, but we won't go there because
I think if I could just get put my 2 cents in before you move on. Ageism,
no,
it's funny. It's funny. That's funny too. No, the thing about ageism is that yes, tenure, age, experience is important for the for historical purposes, i.e., if you're bringing back a policy that didn't work, this person who's worked there for a while can say, hey, listen, historically, it hasn't worked. You can try it again, but this is what the issues were. And you can either modify the old policy to make it work, or you might even get away with it entirely. Unfortunately, my previous job, my experience in history didn't mean shit because They brought back things that I said weren't going to work and they didn't work. But that's that you can respect that. That's one of the highlights of age and experience. However, in this fast-paced society that we have now, when it comes to technology, your experience amounts to dick now.
Yep.
Because in 6 months, it wasn't the way you were trained. A year after that wasn't the way you trained. And things change. They change so constantly. Rules and policies, procedures. So it's a double-edged sword. It's great to have that experience, to know where we came from. But as time goes on, how fast things go on, it becomes less and less applicable to present day.
Right. And it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that, because that's actually one of the excuses that has been said to me before. This is how I was trained many, many moons ago, and I haven't been told anything different.
And I respect that, because hey, that's what happened to me in my old job. Is I was trained a certain way, and when a month, 2 months, a decade goes by, you ask me, why the hell are you doing it like that? That's the way I was trained. Who trained you like that? That was 10 years ago. I have no idea. You can't punish me for not knowing the new procedure when it was never told to me. I go by what the last rule was, and you got to communicate. So it's an excuse, but it's a valid excuse, because you tend to forget to update everybody on everything. And, and I hate that you get held responsible for new policy that you were never told. Or if a system updated and you're still doing something the old way and it's causing problems in the new system, it's not your fault. Because when the updated system happened, that situation wasn't addressed. You didn't even go back to the old person. Hey, you've been here for a while. How do you do this? And how does it impact the workflow of this new system? You don't ask, you just make the change. And that's it. All right, that's my piece.
No, and I completely agree, which is a bigger problem for people of elderly age or older people that have been in industries or whatever for a long time, is that they're so uncomfortable with moving on to new things, or they've never been shown anything new, that they don't even understand why new is better sometimes. And I understand that, because sometimes
new isn't better all the time.
Right, new isn't better all the time. But again, if you can collaborate new and old to make things work more efficiently,
synergy
is the best word.
Synergy.
It's a beautiful word. I'm gonna name my daughter that name.
Synergy? I dare you. I dare you. Actually, that's not bad. It's better than Alizé or something like that. So I'll take that.
I can't have any more children. Why would you say that to me?
Oh yeah, you did that.
Yeah, you
see. Told you guys, way more updated than back then. Way more updated. So maybe this is a better episode. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll never know. Yeah. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, like I said, just keep an open mind. Again, I've been in management. I understand. Keep an open mind, understand new things. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared to try new things out, because sometimes they are better than the older. Now, the other half of my issue is micromanaging. This I totally disagree with 100%, because it's like having a helicopter parent. Okay, helicopter parents don't work for children. It actually makes the children worse. Those are the badass children. They're the ones that are sheltered. They're like, oh, well, if I do this one thing that I was told not to do, maybe I'll work it out. And, oh, buying a gun, shooting people, that's cool. Well, whatever. But sheltering, harboring, that doesn't work for anybody. And in the workplace, I don't believe that it goes there it belongs there, because it drives a wedge in between the manager and employee. Because some employees, like myself, have been in management before, who have opted out to not go back to management and has become a regular employee, just another pawn. And some of them have an idea of how to do better, what's better, what have you. They don't need that person on top of them 24/7. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on? Yo, bro, back off. Like you don't need to know everything that happens. I'll inform you when the situation's over, or like, let me be me. Like, if you hired me as an individual, I need you to trust me as an individual to make proper judgment calls.
So let me stop you right there.
Oh shit.
No. So can we agree though that some people do need to be micromanaged? those who aren't
Oh
fulfilling,
no, yeah.
who aren't doing the work,
Oh yeah.
who workflow or their work ethic is terrible, who just aren't doing the job. But can we also agree that most times those employees that are micromanaged are the exemplary ones, the really, really good ones, the superheroes. They're the ones who seem to get micromanaged, and the ones that are just skimming the bare bones don't. And I find that phenomena is very, very, very weird, because I've seen it happen everywhere. The exceptional, there's the God forbid superhero of the departments, they tend to get micromanaged. And the ones that are just, I'm doing my job, I'm doing the bare bones to collect a paycheck, they don't get it as bad.
Right.
That's weird to me.
Yeah. And again, in my experience, that's something that I experienced several times. And I look around and I'm just like, I don't understand. Like,
but why?
But why? Why? Because here you are, right? Trying to be the best employee possible, right? And you shine. Everybody sees it.
Yep.
You do so well, and everybody's like, damn, I wish I had 10 of those guys running around working for me, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And then you got that one guy that's like,
yep. And usually it's more than one. It's several, because being the superhero at work, you're picking up the slack for others, whether you know it or not. And some people can say that being the superhero at work, you promote, you invite people to slack off because they know you'll handle it. But that's a different story altogether. That's something that's actually something I heard, because when I was going through my withdrawal fades from my old job, and what I was going through, my new manager, he's really cool. I mean, he's one of the crew, right? And we were talking about it, and he said to me, but don't you think that maybe because everybody knew you'd pick up the slack, that promoted them to slack off a little more and a little more and a little more, until they found that sweet spot where they're doing just enough, but because they know
get by,
because they know that you. I said
that you'll cover it.
I was an enabler, maybe. So it's something I'm wrestling with now, is how much of what I went through in my old job, my old position, did I give to myself? Did I literally cause on my own? So it's something to think of.
And it's super familiar, because listen, I'm a worker, I'm through and through. I'm a hard worker. I'm never going to pat myself in the back, and never going to toot my own horn, but toot motherfucker.
No, this dude is true. He is such a hard worker that he's willing to sacrifice his social life and his friendships to work. So that's how much of a hard worker he is. Yes, I'm bitter.
There's the bitterness. Perhaps we don't ever need to release the miserable cut anymore.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. This is the bitter cut, motherfucker.
But I've been that person. I work as hard, and it's obviously recognized, but I don't do it for the recognition. I just do it because that's just who I am.
Of course.
Now, having said that, I've experienced on several different occasions, far and few in between, in the past, in the future, because I know it's going to happen continuously, because that's just life.
Life sucks.
Yeah. You get, not only do you get overlooked, certain things, like when you're like late for work, by a few minutes, it's like, hey, we got to have a conversation about your tardiness.
Yep.
I mean, let's talk about all the overtime that I put in this past week.
Yep.
Yeah, but we don't care about the 30 hours of extra overtime you put in. It's that 5 minutes that you were late.
Yep.
That really concerns us.
Yep.
The fuck? Yo.
Yep.
Back up off me. So it's certain things like that disincentivize the good workers, the hard workers, from continuing doing the hard work, because you got Joe over here, Joey. You got Joey over here picking his nose and scratching his ass, and I'm over here running circles around him, and I'm like, well, why can't we talk about him? We don't. That's worry about you. Don't worry about your other employees. Like, I mean, at that point, that kind of
I agree that there should be some give and takes, a little bit. I'm not saying abuse it, but in that case, absolutely. Here's a good example at the old job. I used to do registration for all the labs in the entire building and from out of the building, right? So let's say I'm registering 50, 60 patients. This is just by itself, not adding anything else that I have to do a day, right? So let's round it down to 50. Okay. So that's about 250 paid people in a work week, give or take. So that's not bad, right? And then you extrapolate that into weeks and months and years. And I guess one day I scanned an order. It was a back and front order, but I scanned one side. Now understand the buttons for the two-sided, right next to it, double-sided. I could have easily hit the wrong button. First mistake I probably made in a decade. That mistake went to one person. When I got the email chain back, it went to all of administration. And at the very end, it said, well, maybe he needs more training. When it got back to me, I didn't hit reply just to my manager. I hit reply all to everybody in that thread. And I explained just like that. This is the amount of patients that I do, blah, blah, blah. And I said a screenshot. I said, instead of thinking that I need more training, it's possible that I made a mistake and hit the wrong button. Please see attached below the screenshot of how the two options are literally laid on top of each other.
Yeah,
they're on top of each other.
It's so easy to make mistakes.
So it's more likely that I hit the wrong button, not realizing, than that I need more training. I said, but effective immediately, I'll make sure to take an extra second. I'm sorry. I said I'll make sure I'll take an extra second so to double check where my cursor is before I scan another order. Thank you for your time. Nobody replied to me. Nobody took me for training. Nobody said anything. I was fed up, and that was very, very passive aggressive, if not insubordinate in a kind of way. But that's what I'm talking about, is that you jump to a conclusion. This I think that week I had to like open up the building like twice or 3 times. And that's something that security does, because when security's not there, it falls on me.
And so, I bet you that conversation never happened with security or whoever was in charge of that.
Probably not, because it kept on happening. So what I'm saying though is that's a good example. It's like, I'm really good at what I do, but I'm still human. And if out of a couple hundred patients, a few hundred patients, I made one mistake, that's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent. You zero in on that. But when everything's going smooth, I don't even get a pat on the back. Right. You know? So that's exactly what you're saying. It's the weirdest thing. I don't understand why we as humans, we like this with everything. Why we as human beings will go out somewhere, it'll be the best service ever, it'd be great, you walk out. But you walk in there and somebody steps on your toe accident, and that's the worst thing in the world. And you forget that you've been there 100 times. This is the first time you ever had something negative happen, but that's it. I got to complain. It was so bad at my previous location that when somebody actually asked, it's not a joke, to recognize someone for a compliment form, I couldn't find one. I couldn't find a new one. I couldn't find an old one because nobody ever asked for one. All I had was the customer complaint forms.
I'm just on top, cross out complaint.
That's what I did. That's what I did. My dude, I said, listen, I said, honestly, I said, I apologize. We don't ever really get asked for this. Nobody had one. I couldn't find one in my dossier. So yeah, I took the complaint form. I took a black Sharpie. I blacked it out, and I hand wrote compliment. I said, just fill this out. Don't worry about all this incident stuff, and I'll get it to where it needs to go. That's how bad it was, because we as humans seem to focus only on the negative, and rarely. This is what my phrase is: don't be afraid to show somebody you appreciate them. Don't be afraid to show it, speak it, and even physically show gratitude. There's nothing wrong with it.
And it's even something as simple as like, you know what, bro, you did such a good day, and I don't know what else, or you did such a good whatever the other day. I don't even know how to do this. Words can't express it, because words are words. But hey, let me buy you lunch. Let me get you a coffee because I saw you were tired and you worked all the overtime this week.
Yeah, that's it.
Let me do something for you. It's simple little things that they don't mean much, but it shows the employee that
no
gratitude is there.
They don't cost much, but they mean a whole lot.
Right. Little things can go a long way.
That's what I'm saying. Just little things. In my new position, I've been there for 6 weeks, and they have tried to feed me 5 times just because. just because. And I said, guys, I said, I'm fasting. You guys got to stop. I mean, you got to stop, you know, but they've done it. We've gotten cakes, nuts. We've gotten fast. We've eaten out 5 times. The doctors, you know, they go to Starbucks. You want something? And I'm like, why now, when I'm focused on my fasting, am I at a location where the hierarchy wants to show appreciation weekly, almost daily sometimes, and it's always food? So the universe is laughing at me. I finally get the appreciation that I've been yearning for 16 years, well, 10 years, whatever, out of the 16 years, and I can't because I want to lose some weight. God help me. So I get you, but carry on.
In my respectful opinion, when it comes to micromanaging, I might be even coming back to it because I don't even remember what was said before we lost the connection. You know, the micromanaging, it disincentivizes employees, it causes stress, it hinders employees from striving to do better. It is literally the driving force for misery. And, you know, unless you do it to the right person, it's kind of useless. Like, again, if you're micromanaging one of your best workers, it disincentivizes to them to be your best worker, because if they're being treated like one of the worst workers, guess what they're gonna do?
Yeah, they're gonna I mean, they may not be the worst worker, but they're definitely not gonna strive to their highest anymore. And then, you know, it's a vicious cycle because, okay, so you micromanage the best worker. So the best worker says, then why am I even working so hard? And because they stop working so hard because you expect out of them, you've changed, and you're not a team player anymore, and that makes it even worse. So then that bile hits the good worker saying, wait, this is how I was, but you're treating me a certain way, and then you get even worse, and then more communication, and just vicious cycle, and it gets worse and worse. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. I wasn't going to say the best worker, but I wore many hats. But as you stopped respecting me and started giving me more crap and treating me a certain way, even though I told you, hey, this is making me miserable, I become miserable. I stopped doing the things that I was going to do. So then you come back to me and you're like, well, you know, here's a good example. Near this is the last couple of months, and I used to do service recovery. Service recovery is actually a managerial or administration role. When a patient's upset, like customer service, when a patient's upset, you want to recover. So you want to find out what the issue is. You want to make them leave happy, and, you know, whatever. I would do that because I was situated at the front of the building. It just happened that way, to the point where the phrase was, I'm never called to the front. Every manager I've had says, I'm never called to the front. Jason handles it. He's got it. Well, you pass me up for a promotion. You don't tell me I'm not getting the promotion. I get one of those automated emails, like
standard emails,
like some dick from across the hall. And you know what? Fine. So who stops doing service recovery? This guy. So then the new supervisor and my manager coming up. So my supervisor comes up to me and says, is this a new thing? Like what's happening? Why all of a sudden people are being so upset? You know? I said, no, it's not new. She's like, how come I never heard about it? I looked at her in her face and I said, because I used to handle it. And she gave me this look like, really, Jason? And I just did this. She goes, okay, sir. And I said, and just went back to typing. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do when you turned. And even my coworkers used to say, wow, I see the change in you. This hasn't been you. You've never talked shit about your job. You've never been upset like this. What has happened? And I said, I got tired of it. I reached my point. I mean, don't get me wrong. It wasn't just this manager. It wasn't just the supervisor or me losing this position, but it was the final. It made my cup runneth over. That was it. So carry on.
Yep. So the last thing I'm going to say about this is when it comes to managers that are known to micromanage, whether you know it or not, or you do it on purpose or not, the thing that I have to say is you need to recognize that the employees that you either hired or that were hired prior to you getting there were hired for a reason. They were hired for specific tasks or things that they can do, whether they're minuscule or not.
Correct.
So you need to understand that they can, make the correct judgment calls. Or if you don't know that, give them a test. And if they perform to your standards, leave them alone. Give them the opportunity, because again, you don't know everybody's background, especially if like you're the new manager and you got a whole new staff and you don't know what they're prepared for. You don't know what they can do. So why piss them off? Why put them in a situation to not want to strive to do better, or work for you in a manner that represents you to the best of their ability.
I heard a story. I'm actually, you know what? You guys may not even need the miserable cut because I'm getting into it now. I heard this story once, right, where a new manager, a new administrator came in. I think it was the director of managers, and the question was asked: who do I talk to understand the atmosphere, the work environment, and the history of this building? Oh, go to Jason, that front desk guy. No, yeah, go to Jason. Well, let me ask somebody else. Yeah, go to Jason. He's been there a long time. He knows everything. Really him? Like, this is what I heard, because this is what I found out when I was leaving. I said, yeah, this is what we're told. Whenever somebody new came in, they were immediately directed to you for all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, really? I didn't even know this. So, yeah. But the last person was just shocked. Like, why him? He's just something, because at face value, I look like an overpaid, overglorified secretary. No. I do finance. I do eligibility. I work with uninsured patients. I do way more than just where you guys happen to stick me for most of my time. I didn't want to be. I wasn't even supposed to be here. Okay, so it's funny you say that, because I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I guess final thoughts on ageism and micromanaging the workplace. Any thoughts?
As somebody who's been in management, again, I like to glorify myself as a manager, even a director for source.
Allegedly.
I was a professional.
Cite your source.
myass.com.
I know that's right.
Yeah, buddy. Just take into consideration that not everybody's an idiot. Not everybody's a child. Not everybody's going to do something to make you as the man look bad. Not everybody they don't need to be told 100 times the same thing over and over again on a daily basis,
Mm-hmm.
How to perform, because at that point it's like, all right, do you not understand that I can, do you not trust my judgment? Do you not trust my abilities? Because if that's the case, why am I here?
Mm-hmm.
And you need to understand that if you're making your employee question why they are there, because money's not always the reason.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you that, Jen. Money's not always the problem.
Sometimes peace of mind is more important.
Exactly. You have to be aware of that. You have to remember, people not only are, as a management prospect or mindset, people are replaceable. Yes, so are jobs.
Yep.
And in the current situation that we're currently going in with the pandemic and everything,
Allegedly.
jobs are wide open, and
nobody wants them. Nobody wants to work.
So if you have a business and there are people that are just like, they don't care, or your employees haven't came back, maybe it's because of you.
Yeah, they can find an excuse, like why come back to this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, man, I want to thank you for joining us on A Friend with Issues. It's been fun. This is the retaping. Remember, at FIssues, hashtag release the miserable cut. And I'm telling you right now, if I get enough swell, I'm gonna send it to him. I'm gonna make him, and we will negotiate how this gets released. Even if it's just on a private page, and I give you guys the links, because it was a superior episode. I'm just saying, it was superior because
as far as emotion was concerned,
exactly.
Yeah,
it was far more superior. You heard it from me because I was in the muck. You heard it from this man because he was in the muck. Right now, I'm channeling old stuff, but I'm in a great place. This man, a lot of it's been ease, and he's being very, very, very pleasant about everything. So the old one at FIssues on Twitter, hashtag release the miserable cut. And that being said, thank you for tuning in to A Friend with Issues, a 10-part series. And remember, listen to everything, but believe only.
Got something to say? Email friendswithissues@gmail.com. This is an audio production of Vibe Revelation Studios, the cure for your common day. VibeRevStudios.com.